Good afternoon. Welcome to your favorite current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. I'm your anchor on the show, Egosa Agmola. Today's program, we'll be taking a review of the political parties' primaries for the office of the president. Of course, you know that the 2019 election is fast approaching. Nigerians are anticipating. Nigerians are salivating. Nigerians are already looking ahead. Who will be the president? Is the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari? Is he going to remain as president for a second term? Or another man? So everybody is looking forward to 2019 election. And that makes today's program very, very crucial, very, very important. And I have with me very distinguished personalities who will be joining me dissect the topic for today. I have with me a clergyman, Pastor Egosa Omori. Nice to have you on the show, Pastor.
God bless you.
Okay. I also have with me a politician, a political analyst, a highly respected Edo man, Eiga Loa Andrew. Nice to have you on the show.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Okay. I also have with me a clergyman. He's a regular face on the program, Evangelist Emeka Ekua. Nice to have you.
Good afternoon, Nigerians.
I also have with me on the show a statesman and a very seasoned politician, political analyst, Isaac Irabo. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Okay. Like I said, we're taking a review of political parties' presidential primary. And we know that we have so many political parties. So many have their presidential candidates, some by consensus, some actually engage in primary. But in all these political parties, two very outstanding, the incumbent president, Muhammadu Buhari, and our former vice president, Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar emerged after the PDP convention in Port Harcourt. The primaries held in Port Harcourt, the vice president emerged. He actually emerged ahead of some heavyweights, the likes of the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, the likes of the governor of Sokoto State, Tambuwa, and some other heavyweights, Sule Lamido, former governor. And of course, for the APC, President Buhari remained as the only candidate and was returned unopposed to contest for a second term. But so many people need to meet these two foremost candidates. So I bring you the details, the background information about President Muhammadu Buhari and, of course, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. I start with President Muhammadu Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari is GCFR, born in 1942. He's the President of Nigeria, in office since 2015. He's a retired Major General in the Nigerian Army and previously served as the nation's head of state from 31st December 1983 to 27th August 1985. After taking power in a military coup d'etat, the term Buharism is ascribed to the Buhari military government of that time. He successfully ran for the office of President of Nigeria in the 2003, 2007, and the 2011 general elections. In December 2014, he emerged as the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress for the March 2015 general elections. President Buhari won the election, defeating the incumbent president, Goodluck Jonathan. This marked the first time in the history of the country that an incumbent president lost to an opposition candidate in a general election. He was sworn in on the 29th of May 2015. Buhari has stated that he takes responsibility for anything over which he presided during his military rule and that he cannot change the past. He has described himself as a converted Democrat. Who is Atiku Abubakar? I bring you the details of the PDP presidential candidate for the 2019 election. Atiku Abubakar, GCON, Born 25th November 1946, is a Nigerian politician and business tycoon. He was Vice President of Nigeria from 1999 to 2007 under President Olusegun Obasanjo, represented the People's Democratic Party. Abubakar worked in Nigerian Customs Service for 20 years, rising to become the Deputy Director as the second highest position in the service was then known. He ran for the office of governor in the Gongola State, now known as Adamawa and Taraba States, in 1991, and for the presidency in 1993, placing third after the late MKO Abiola and Babagana Kingibe in the Social Democratic Party XDP primaries. In 1998, he was elected governor of Adamawa State. While still governor-elect, he was selected by the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, presidential candidate Chief Olusegun Obasanjo as his running mate. The duo went on to win elections in February 1999, and Abubakar was sworn in as Nigeria's second democratically elected vice president on 29 May 1999. Abubakar's second term as vice president was marked by a stormy relationship with President Obasanjo. His bid to succeed Obasanjo did not receive Obasanjo's support, and he took a judgment with the Supreme Court to allow Abubakar contest after he was initially disqualified by the Independent National Electoral Commission on the grounds that he had been indicted for financial misconduct by investigating panel set up at Obasanjo's behest. The Supreme Court ordered the Electoral Commission to restore Abubakar's name onto the presidential ballot. Abubakar ran on the platform of the Action Congress, having quit the PDP on account of his issues with the then President Obasanjo. Abubakar lost the election, placing third after Umaru Yar'Adua and Muhammadu Buhari of the All Nigerian People's Party, ANPP. Abubakar is a co-founder of Intel's and oil services business with extensive operations in Nigeria and abroad. He is also the founder of Adama Beverages Limited and the American University of Nigeria, both in Yola, Adamawa State. The two foremost presidential candidates. We start with Pastor Ego Samori. Yes, these two men emerged. What's your take? We'll start from there.
Well, first and foremost, I want to first congratulate the finalists in the sense that it is auspicious for us to all meet at this point to look at these very critical issues as it concerns Nigerians. First and foremost, yeah, we have about 91 political parties that's registered by INEC, fulfilling candidates to contest. But we are looking at these two major parties because of their pedigree. But between you and me, we know that the way both of them emerge in their various primaries, leaves a lot of questions, in the minds of Nigerians. Because I am very much aware that a man that is not properly trained will always have accidental discharge. I quietly remember the time of Center for Democratic Studies. Then democracy is not wholesale. It is not do or die. It is not the more you have, you are able to obtain it. But these days, cash and carry is the order of the day. And by extension, what we have just seen is going to create a more terrible challenges during the general elections. Because number one, the independent voters, they are going to judge, the emergence of these candidates based on the way they came aboard. So that's the first thing I have to say.
Okay. So let's take Eyaloa Andrew, a politician. What's your take to the primaries that produce these two presidential candidates? They are the foremost among so many.
Well, my take on this issue was I was baffled when I saw the two candidates in the first place, especially that of PDP. I now concluded that Nigeria politics and democracy had been overtaken by corruption and poverty. In the sense that, look at loyalty, integrity does not matter anymore. In those days, when you talk about party, before they give you ticket, how long have you been in the party? What have you done for the party? What sacrifice have you done for the party? Oh, money is put aside. Oh, this one can be a member of the party and he will walk away. He will not sell us. But these days, you just look at it, go and look for your money anyway, come, then ask for any ticket, you will be given in gold, which, to me, these are not tenets of democracy. And the poverty aspect of it has blinded our sense of reasoning that you see the truth and you throw away your eyes. And instead of picking blue, you pick white. What am I trying to say? I often hear people saying, this election that is coming is a do or die fight. Can this one fight? Are we talking about physical fight here? We're talking about voting. Voting your choice. Is it a money-making place that you must fight? First and foremost, what I think is this. The way and manner somebody gets into a position, let me tell you about traits. In psychology, it's what we call traits. What you do and certain things you do will determine your outcome in any eventuality. So tomorrow, some of them that are the candidates now, that of PDP should be very ready. Somebody that can wake up and decamp because you did not get this, you did not get that, you move. They should watch it. Don't be surprised if PDP is taken away after 1 or 2 years when things are not going well to form another party. You know the power of occupancy. And another thing I see for the APC, especially in Nigeria, why is it that an incumbent president is never competed with? If I were Buhari, I won't trust anybody. Come and compete with me. Let me see my popularity. When Buhari was competing before this election, there were many. Because it was a free-for-all. Nobody is president yet. No vindictiveness. They all came on board to contest. He won. Now that he's going back, oh, I don't want trouble. Anybody that dares, after the election, you wait. Even if you had a position, it will be retrieved because you contested the election in a democratic setting. Vindictiveness. And that's wrong. And that is not how democracy is actually played in civilized world. Look at the American election. Before their main election, you see them in their primaries, you saw Hillary Clinton and Obama. They fought themselves just to get the tickets. They castigated each other and all that. They were all politicking propaganda in a civilized way. And after everything, they came back together. And when Obama won, he gave Hillary Clinton Secretary of State. Does that happen in Nigeria? And we say we are practicing democracy. I think I will rest with that.
Okay. Okay. I know that Andrew has a lot to say. He's just bottling them. So we'll get more from him. But let's get the thoughts of Evangelist. Yes.
Thank you very much. You have had my colleagues here.
Yes.
With their own input. I still join voice to say Nigeria has lost it all. Nigerians, we've missed it all. The integrity of democracy is no longer anything to go by in this country. But I still have the belief we can still get it right. And hence we are here. We'll keep talking. The emergency of Atiku Abubakar. Well, the PDP as a party have what they are looking for. I think it doesn't mean that other people that contested on that primary are not qualified. Every one of them are qualified. But before they came up and said, let's Atiku come up to become their presidential candidate, they know exactly what they are looking for. But the surprise will be the case because Nigerians will decide this time around.
Okay.
Whether it was money that played, whether it was experience they have at the back of their mind, whether it was because they felt he should be the very one that can challenge the incumbent president. Well, the election proper, the people of the nation Nigeria will decide if honesty is placed in a watchword, as long as the election is concerned. Yeah. Then you come to the area of the incumbent president. I want to point out this. He fought in 2015 against the incumbent president.
Yeah. And
the Nigerians threw weights on him.
Okay.
Based on one singular word, I can still believe, I can still remember, he has integrity. And for that reason, Nigerians were clamoring for change, and he was elected as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And in the past years he has been in the office, Nigerians also will give him a score mark. Nigerians also have been able to see what he has done, whether right or wrong. And I think they are also waiting, because what happened then could also be repeated. But the only way it could be repeated is if they have somebody, if other parties, apart from PDP, even without PDP, field a qualified candidate that has also integrity. I think we should not overemphasize in surprises. So, and in the primary that bring in Mr. President, of course, the family of APC, they look around and they felt he should continue. And they were unable to field another candidate. Whatever reason be their opinion, whatever be their reason, well, Nigerians will decide.
In 2019. Okay, February precisely, 2019 will be the presidential election. And like I said, all Nigerians are just anticipating and waiting for that date. But let's get the thoughts of Isaac Irabor. Are you surprised with the emergence of these two foremost candidates?
Well, I'm not surprised.
Okay.
I'm not. This game...
Is it a game?
Yeah. Politics.
Okay. So politics is a game?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Politics is a game that should be played by very decent people.
Okay.
But played under the symbol of a political party or political parties. So says our Constitution. You see, it's unfortunate that big money comes into this game. For a man who's going to contest throughout the length and breadth of this country, it's got to be a rich man. Let's not. And amongst rich men, you have the very intelligent ones. It's like you're going to run UAC. You can't run UAC as a common man. You've grown in the system. And that's why you have so much, you have these fringe benefits, you have that. Anywhere you go in the world, you stay in a first-class hotel. And things. So it is for the president of, who wants to be president of Nigeria. Where we are borrowing from. You don't have a poor man becoming president. People will quickly point to Obama. Yes. If you think you're poor, then you reach out to those who can help you get into office. There is big money looking for a talent. General Motors, Bechtel, some of the biggest companies in the world, Mobil, they are looking. Even through Wall Street. Those highly, because you have to protect their investments. So politics is at that level. At the lower level, council guy, you see, you grow from the council. A brilliant man is a brilliant man, and he grows from the house of, from council to House of Assembly, and he just keeps moving on. So it will not be surprising if Mobil and maybe IBM, because this world is no more, oh, we're all in Nigeria. No, no, the whole world.
It's a global village.
It's a global village. These companies have interest in Nigeria. They have to protect their interest. So they source for these materials. Well, God, that's how the big money comes in. You might find out that these guys who have just contested, both in the APC and the PDP, some of them may not have even spent their money. They would have been sponsored by big time who have people who are buying gas, for instance. The gas that we have no limit to the production of gas. Oil, polonium, uranium, everything is in this country. These are radioactive materials that other people need to send their what you call it, to the moon, to the sun.
Spacecraft.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You must understand the background of this thing. People are hungry in this country today. The average person you want to be your delegate, either to direct primaries or indirect primaries, things are no more as usual. A man used to have 10 wives, now he's got himself to 2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he cannot even maintain 2. He needs money. Our people already now have distrusted, or they have distrusted their leaders, because their leaders come to them begging for votes. As soon as they get there, they just jettison them. You know what I'm saying? You begged us to give you our vote to be nominated or to be elected. As soon as you get there, the ladder that you used to climb, which are us, you throw it away. We're in penury, we're in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The next time you come back, or you know your woman, I mean, you just want to come and give us the same thing. No, we say, no, go and bring that money. The common people, they are not stupid people. You know, so let us be very frank. Money plays a role. You don't play a president. You want to be president of Nigeria, one of the richest countries in the world. The people are the most prolific. I've not seen a black man as prolific as a Nigerian. Whether in Alaska or whether in Lesotho, that is a Nigerian. Brilliant man. The problem we have is leadership. So a man who wants to control all this power must be backed. I'm not saying must have the money. Yeah. Must be backed.
Okay.
By big time
money.
Thank
you, Mr. Rabba. We'll come back to you. But let's get the thought of Erusa Omori. Now, looking at the 2019 election, now that we have the candidates, what do you think is going to be the deciding factor? One of our discussants talked about integrity, that tilted the victory in favor of the incumbent. What do you think will be the deciding factor as we look forward to 2019? Yes.
Well, it is an obvious fact.
Okay.
First of all, let me first disagree with my brother that, that most of these candidates, they are not the one who brought the money themselves. It's not true. Okay. We all know this.
Can you prove it?
No, please.
No, let me make it.
Just say.
Make a comment. Yes.
In during the APC primaries before 2015 election, this same PDP now candidate, dollars, the same way he did this time out, he lost, and that was one of the grievances he had that enabled him to leave. So the man has what I call a pool of hard currencies. So you cannot remove that fact from it. So we are looking at the election of 2019, a man with integrity and a man who has no integrity. Nigerians are no fools. We are no fools. We are no wholesale. Except people think that Nigerians are cheap. We are not cheap.
Are you saying now that integrity will play a role?
We play a primary role. Number one. Number two.
Yes. Before you continue, I need to make this clear. We can, on this program, we cannot substantiate the fact by saying Mr. A has no integrity or Mr. B has integrity, because we don't have the evidence or the facts. Yes, but you can say Nigerians will look at the issue of integrity as a decider. But you cannot say Mr. A is yes.
As a deciding factor. Nigerians, we want somebody who we can vouch for. Somebody we can go to bed and sleep with 2 eyes closed. We are not going to be entrusting the wealth of this country to anybody that can do anyhow with it. We have seen it over and over and again. Today, the problem we have with many states of the country is that those who are in charge of states' wealth, they aggravate it to themselves, they take it to themselves for their personal use. And so, Nigerians, we are looking out for persons who will be able to stand out outside the shore of this country, somebody that people can vouch for. They're not looking for somebody who wants to play, the more you look, the less you see politics. So that is exactly what Nigerians are going to be looking at for. Number two, we're going to look out for somebody who can be able to stand against terrorism. Before this time, we knew what happened before the coming of the Ikode president.
Yeah.
That the Federal Capital Territory were bombarded several times by Boko Haram. The army headquarters was bombarded. The military headquarters in Abuja was bombarded. United Nations headquarters was bombarded. Are you following what I'm saying? So, but since this man came in, he able to deal. At least
you are talking about President Buhari now.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
since Buhari's emergence in 2015.
Yes, he has been able to handle the issue of reckless killing. To the extent that he went to Sambisa Forest, he has disjointed the people. They are not scattered all over. That's why you can see some skirmishes of attack here and there. They no longer have a base. Before his coming, more than 10 local governments were not within Nigeria's confine. The Boko Haram hosted their flags. So what are we talking about? So Nigerians, we want, before now, you know, Borno, Adamawa, you cannot go to school. So Nigerians are looking out for number one, a man with integrity.
Okay.
Number two, we are going to be voting for somebody who can be able to address the issue of insecurity. Then number three, somebody who can take Nigeria back to the farm.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Andrew, what are we going to be looking out for? What will the electorate, the voters, what will be the deciding factor?
Well, I would say in Nigeria electorates, we have two categories.
Okay.
We have the elites and the commoners.
Okay.
And 60% or 70% of registered voters in Nigeria are the commoners, not the elites.
Okay.
The elites, what they do is to rant on newspaper and talk. Most times when the election is going on, they're not in the country. Even if they're in the country, they stay in their house. Take time off to go out on election day and see the kind of people you see on queue. So what am I trying to say? The deciding factor for 2019 election is money. My brother. It's money, the highest bidder. And most of these electorate that are having these voters card, they can't even write, they can't read. They're not used to WhatsApp, they're not used to Facebook. They don't even want to hear what they are saying, this one is not good. Or that one is good. On election day, give me my money, which party? Give me my money. Let me tell you the slogan. By the time they collect their money and they are putting it, all of them are the same. Give me my money. That's what you hear. That is why I think PDP use that monetary factor to decide their candidates. Because they know that this thing has to do with money, not integrity or what have you. Are you listening?
Yeah. Was it monetary factor that really decided?
My brother,
don't you think the people voted for their choice during the convention?
What is the criteria for bringing up somebody that had left the party on 2 occasions? And let me tell you one thing about politics. That is why the campaign, I look at some people, I look at them and I laugh at them. Is it poverty or stupidity? When you are in a party, you praise your party. You insult the other party. Yeah, this one is this. Then the next thing you are wearing the other person's cap, developmental stride, you raise his hand. Is that not deceitful? That is African politics for you, my brother. So don't tell me that it is integrity or is it beauty. Is that the criteria for bringing that article? It's not the most handsome man there. It's just one single factor, which is money. Because everybody is now afraid. Assuming we don't win PDP. All ears are on ground. Who sponsored the McAfee that was not having money? to contest election. This governor this, governor that, they stole this money. Before you know it, EFCC. So everybody is now afraid to dole out money to support somebody with integrity. Because let me tell you one thing about politics. Before you say you want to contest, the party will ask you, how much do you have?
That's true.
Do you have, for presidential election, do you have, let's say, 20 billion or 30 billion? Let us see your account. Because I don't have money. No government is ready to bring money anymore because of chanting of EFCC. I can bring the money. Look, give me the ticket. I can look at my account. I can mortgage this. This man can fight the fight.
Okay, that's what happens in your party?
I don't know.
He didn't say that.
I'm not saying that, my brother. I'm just trying to speculate. Yes, I want to implicate me.
No, but it's no implication.
I don't know.
Okay, please let's allow him make his comments.
By the time you see all these things, you now say, oh, this man, he has integrity. Let me tell you, of all the aspirants in PDP, McAfee was somebody I think would have gotten the ticket on all ramifications. Loyalty, honesty, organization, taking care of the party,
the campaign,
everything put in place. Let's compensate. How it's supposed to be. Let's compensate McAfee.
That's the way.
Are you getting it? Because at the time McAfee was holding this party, PDP was almost at the verge of destruction.
Death.
This man was fighting PDP. What's his name again? That man.
From Borno.
Sheriff. He fought PDP, almost scattered the party, but McAfee stood, was able to bring the party back. If PDP has not organized the party to say, we are not a formidable party, they would have gone to SDP. Most of them. They would have gone to SDP to go and pick tickets. Let me not say certain things here. The plan was already that if McAfee wins in court to be the national chairman, they will move. Instead of McAfee to be the national chairman of PDP, they will go to another platform. But God now intervened and gave PDP, now removed Sheriff to make PDP stay back. That was why PDP still remained as we are speaking now. So tell me, 2019 is all about money. Go and get, let me put it this way. Assuming a particular party is sharing 5,000 on election day, then the other party is sharing 1,000. And the party and somebody has 3 children, herself, her husband, and let's say 2 or 3 children, all grown up to vote. Times 5, that's 25,000. Then the other person is sharing 1,000. Times 5, 5,000. You think that person will opt for that 1,000 to say, no, I don't want to sell my vote to.
Okay. Now, Mr. Andrew, let me interject. What you are saying now, you believe that money will be a factor in deciding 2019 election. But don't you think INEC is smart? Having seen what happened in Ekiti and in Osun, INEC is already planning. Senate has approved the budget of INEC to conduct the 2019 election. I think INEC is already proactive and they are going to curtail vote buying. Because what you are talking about now is vote buying, which already has been observed that it occurred during governorship election in Ekiti and in Osun. So before 2019, INEC will be smart. Don't you think so? But we'll come back to you. Let's just get the thought of Evangelist Emeka Ekuga.
Let me quickly react to some of the founders. I don't think 2019 is just going to be money.
Okay.
The money is important. Our role here is to make sure we let Nigerians to know the danger ahead of them.
Okay.
Ahead of us.
Yes.
What affects one affects others. You see the way the country is going today. Everybody is crying. And one of the reasons why many of us today are crying is because we've sold our part of our future in the name of collect 5,000, collect 10,000, vote for me. And when you collect 5,000, the next 4 years, if nothing happens, don't blame anybody. Because who gave you 5,000 would want to get his money back in one way or the other. So I want to appeal to my colleagues here that we discourage that attitude of it's about money in 2019. We are looking for whom God himself will place on that position, who will have the fear of God. who will look at the interests of the masses. You know, you have the rich, you have the poor. My brother made a very good observation. The rich, on that day, we see them on the queue.
But some will be there.
Yeah, on interest. Why you see the poor Nigerians, whether rain or sun, queue up. Believe you me. And these men that queue up are the people that are being treated, you know, in a very bad and demonic manner. You see, election has come, primary and whatever. You see some senators, you see some members of the House of Assembly who want to be re-elected. They come to the hall where you have the elders and everybody. They kneel down, they rub their hands, they are begging.
Yes.
They come now to kneel down, and then they buy kai kai and whatever, and the old men will drink, and they will tell the families, please, he's a good son, he's this. Maybe they drop some change, like my brother is talking. And then they will tell other of their soldiers and say, please, vote for him, he's our own. Let me come to say that 2019 should not be of that.
Okay.
It should not be of that.
So what do you have in mind?
What I have in mind here is that Nigerians should look at somebody, not because you have the money that every Nigerians don't have. And for that reason, you should be the person to be in that position. If any other party, you know, brings somebody who has fear of God, we know them. We know them. Those who are sponsoring them for selfish interest. If you have my way to say pray, God will take them away. God take them away. Who is not supposed to be, who should be able to take Nigeria to a promised land? God, take such a one away. Let people who has the mind of people go to that very office. We are the people who send them.
So, to you, Nigerians will be looking at the integrity, they'll be looking at maybe their record,
yes.
they're looking at honesty.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you believe will be a deciding factor. Yes. Let's get the thoughts of Isaac Irabor. So Isaac Irabor has witnessed so many elections. He's, so he has a lot to say. Okay.
Ordinarily,
yes.
I subscribe to what the gentlemen have said.
Yes.
If wishes were horses, blind men would ride.
Okay.
You see, we have grown through times. I'll give you an example of my personal experience.
Yeah.
In 1987, I ran in an election with Lucky Medium,
okay.
the son of the man who owns the station.
Okay.
So I went to one village, Uhiere, on Saple Road. I'm talking about 1987. You can work out the number of years.
Yes.
Local government election.
Is it local government election?
Local government election,
okay.
non-party.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a non-party election.
So I got there. I spoke in both English and Benin language. I'm quite prolific at both. So the ordinary way of that village said, it was a village meeting on a day at the village square.
Yeah,
everybody was home.
Go to farm.
So the man said, who is this boy? This man. Of course, I was much younger at that time. See, always the man, no, if it was pounded yam, they wouldn't look for soup to eat.
Okay, so for those who don't understand Benin, that's just a parable. Yes, okay.
So he said, my son, ordinarily all of us will vote for you. He said, but listen, he now took us back, way back to Action Group and it was the other one. No,
ACNN, something.
Whatever, NPC and all the rest of it. So he said from there, we'll be doing an election. Even when Oyibo was here, we're doing an election. He said these people will come and tell us one thing. And once they get into opposition, they do something else.
So in other words, all your prolific comments, they didn't trust it?
No.
Okay.
They just told me,
just left.
He has also made his own comments.
Yeah, and not only that, loaded with other things.
No, but he's not.
Without due regard.
Yes.
Without due regard.
So Igbeneghu is not here now. He's not here now to defend himself. But I take the point.
You see the point. Let me quickly finish. Don't gag me.
Okay.
So
no, we need to make it clear because we have our viewers who are watching.
I'm trying to say something that the people don't believe anymore. It's cash and carry.
I said it earlier.
But
let's discourage it.
Yeah. So no, let me quickly. We should.
No, let's allow.
But things have not gotten any better.
Yeah.
It's getting worse every day. I don't like the position I'm taking. If you conduct another election tomorrow, it's the same. I said on the last. You remember the last time I was.
Mr. Azigra, before you continue, now when you visited that community,
yes,
did you go empty-handed?
Me?
Yeah, or did you at least entertain the crowd that came to
you must
receive
entertain them, but that's not enough.
Okay.
Let me tell you. Okay, it now depends on level of entertainment.
Thank you, Mr. Rabo. Thank you.
But let me also tell you that our politicians today should have learned from past experiences. When you rule well, people don't vote. I think he said it just. You rule well. If you rule well, they see what you have done. When you start telling them before election, I will do this, I'll do more, they will join you. They may not take that kind of money from you. Or if you continue to maintain your leaders, there is no country in this world, and I've seen a lot of them, where politicians, whether I call them old politicians, young politicians, they are compensated in one way or the other. Either after winning, you give them contracts, but the kind of ones we are hearing now, no politicians are not this, are not. Listen, take care of these people. I was involved, I was publishing a newspaper, Metro News. And there was this problem between Rewane and the Olu of Warri at that time. So what happened was that it was difficult for the Olu to fight Rewane. Because Rewane buys his votes ahead of time. All these village Ishekiri communities, all the leaders, Baggy, they are on payroll. From Light Flour Mills, all Rewane is something. So when it comes to election day, Rewane does not spend any money. You maintain these people. They have children in school. They have wives who have just brought the children and everything. And all. So you maintain your politicians. Okay. Don't try to just come and impose a new thing on them. Okay. They will resist. Yeah. And that is where, at the appropriate time, they ask you for money. Okay. They demand it. Thank you,
Mr. Isaac Rabo. You've made a point. I know that our viewer out there will try to comprehend. But we must always make it clear on this program that the views of our discussants are their personal opinion and not that of Independent Television Benin. Okay, so let's continue on the program. We are taking a review of political parties, presidential primary. We have candidates now. Another party that is also making headway is the SDP. We understand that Donald Duke, a former governor, is the presidential candidate of that party. There are others. We have the Young People's Party. We understand the former deputy governor of the Central Bank is the presidential candidate. So many political parties. But we try to narrow our discussion to the most prominent, and we are looking at the APC presidential candidate, who, of course, is the incumbent president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and a former vice president, who is the presidential candidate of the PDP. My discussants have made very, very valuable comments as we look forward to 2019 general election, and they will continue to make comments. So we allow Eyigaloa Andrew, who talked about the issue of money politics, money bags, influencing the political arena, political decisions, or money bags probably influencing where the votes will go to. And some of the other discussants say, okay, this has been identified and it must be discouraged ahead of the 2019. He has more comments to make. Let's hear Eyigaloa Andrew.
Yeah, I'm back again. With my observation,
yes,
with the past elections I've
witnessed, okay,
and I came to the fact that the only people, the only body that can help Nigeria democracy grow is the INEC and the Security Act.
Okay.
Ask me how.
Okay.
On election day, ballot boxes are placed in front. Come and cast your vote and all that. And nobody is supposed to go close to that ballot box. Or preferably, the ballot box should be taken to a secluded place where nobody will see, because most parties, they have their party agents, talks, watching. I can use my own, the day I voted, the last election, as a case study. The ballot box was placed there. Then I saw a young man sitting close to the ballot box. Because so many people are ready to collect money from the money bags and go there and cast their vote for their candidate of their choice. But the young man placed there was sitting there as a spy to watch whoever they gave money to and did not vote, will not blink. Then when the person comes out, they will give the person the beating of his or her life. Collected money and you didn't vote. When I complained to the security, I don't want to mention the armor.
Yeah, I understand.
My friend, this thing has been, it's from above. My friend, go. This thing is from above. That means the guy sat there monitoring all the votes.
So that must stop. That's the point you are making. So the security agents must ensure honesty
and the security agents.
Okay.
If they can do their work properly, you will see the real candidate emerging. But if they cooperate with the money bags, both the security agents, all of them will combine, and in fact, you will
not get the authentic result. Okay, let's. Yes. Okay. Yes. Evangelist Emeka. Okay.
It's quite unfortunate. You know, when I was trying to discourage or ask my colleagues to discourage issue of
vote buying. Yes, vote buying.
I know what I was looking at.
Yes.
Now, don't be surprised that in 2019 it's not going to be Atiku versus
Buhari.
Yes.
It could be Atiku versus INEC and security. It could be because the incumbent is already there. Take for instance, the money has already been budgeted for INEC to conduct election. Security has a budget. Dog has to be filled for this election. Now, my take, what has dog to do in protection of my vote?
No, the security agents know how to carry out their operations, so we cannot question their tactics.
The truth of the matter is, it's just like also, if we want to be honest to ourselves, that these people on ground with this money and also the money that we get behind, they've already been borrowed. Like what you just said now. Honestly, you will see men of the security agents standing right there before you. If you make a complaint, they will tell your guy is from above. So what else?
No, I don't think that is what we should be looking forward to.
No, we want to discourage.
Yes, as INEC is preparing for the election,
yes,
we're already informed that INEC is evolving strategies to dissuade to go against vote buying.
We wish.
Now, just like Andrew said, cubicles will be created. Probably it's a strategy so when you go in there, you vote and nobody sees whoever you vote for.
If they can
so why did you look forward to that? Now, in the Osun election, INEC said, don't take your smartphone to where you are going to vote, to the voting point. Not to the voting center, but the place, the voting point. All is to prevent this vote buying. So you don't snap and go and show them. You know, these are some problems. Problems are supposed to bring us solution. Let's get the thought of Pastor Ewosu Omori, because we gradually calling the day on the show. What do you think those in charge of conducting the election should do to ensure a very credible, transparent 2019 presidential election?
Well, as umpires, you know, they must be seen to be transparent in the sense that they must never play to the gallery.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes we talk about the security agents. Again, you know, policemen by virtue of their training, you go to a policeman's house, say, what did you bring? You see him on the road, what are you carrying? You know, they have this, every time they get in touch with you, you must drop something.
That's an allegation we cannot substantiate too. Because some policemen are not like that.
No, not
some policemen are not like that. Yes.
But again,
okay.
You see, people who are charged with the responsibility of conducting the election, you know, they must first demonstrate the fear of God. That's why Nigerians need to pray. we need to pray for them so that you don't compromise their responsibility. The moment they compromise it, then we are in for a terrible time. You know, because sometimes some of these election results, you get it right from the ward, the police center. So you cannot complicate it or duplicate it. So it goes up like that to the collation center.
Okay.
So by the time the security agent remove their eyes, the INEC compromises, automatically everything is mutilated. There is what we call superimposing. Figure are changed. Then by extension, those who have the authentic result will not be crying, this is not the result we had in my polling unit. Why has it not changed? But who do you cry to?
Okay.
Also,
yes.
Let me quickly.
Okay, your party words now.
Yes. You see, the way to stem all these that we're talking about, money or no money,
yes,
is for those who are elected by the common man, as he said, about 70% of, if not more, because these so-called big men, on elections day, they are having tea or lunch. They went a nightclub the night before and they just come in, oh, you go and wake them up. No, please, I'll see you people later. Create jobs for these common people. Okay. It's very easy. Rulers promise so much. We'll give you this, we'll give you that. As soon as they get into office, they don't do that. Do you think that Tinubu just gives them so much money in Lagos? They manage these people. All those people were under the bridge and all of them. They created homes, they created jobs. They cleaned all the parks. You don't see anybody lollygagging around in Lagos. Maybe you used to see a lot of them. We have tons and tons of them. They are multiplying every day. You don't do anything about them. They have no means of livelihood. They cannot eat. And these people are going to vote for you without money. It's going to be difficult. Let God Almighty come.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Isaac.
That is the thing.
Your party words, Evangelist Emeka. Party words, yes.
Let me quickly say that it's not just creating jobs. If those that have been elected create the job, pay those
the employee, okay.
Because if you create a job and you don't pay, you can see the nation today. You still see the same politicians carrying the money by themselves. But I want to advise that INEC should be
unbiased. Okay.
Unbiased to themselves. If Nigerians comes up like it was in the last election and said it is Donald Duke, give it to Donald Duke. If they say it is Buhari, let Buhari go there. If they say it is Atuku, give it to Atuku. That is why they are independent. Don't mortgage the nation you belong to.
Thank you. Your party words, Andrew.
Yeah, my party words is this. The success of 2019 election lies in the hands of the INEC and the security.
Okay.
Wait, let me finish.
Yes.
Because if you watch the last election that took place, governorship election, a commissioner of police was sent to Edo State. Because he didn't play ball initially, the then governor made sure he was transferred immediately.
We don't have the evidence of that.
No, wait, we know.
Yes.
There's not person on that person that was ready to play ball. Let me tell you, if the security outfit and INEC, if they don't want to say, oh, it's not from my, I don't care, like sack me as a commissioner, I want to do my job, this election will be free.
Thank you, Andre. Okay, we have actually had comments from Eyaloa Andrew. We've got the comments of Pastor Rosa Omori, Isaac Irabo, and of course Emeka Ekugwa. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your contribution. I believe our viewers there have enjoyed today's edition of the program. If you did, keep a date with us. Next week, Thursday, we'll be here again with another issue to dissect with different discussions. Until then, have a beautiful weekend ahead. Bye-bye.